Hello, fellow YouTubers. Like WC Stop Motioner here. Welcome to Viewers New and Old. And today I'm going to be taking a look at Transformers Legacy Evolution Deluxe Class Devcon. It's about time we got this guy. And it's about time I get around to reviewing him. I've had him for like over a month at this point, but I didn't get around to unboxing him yet. So, yeah. I know he's a retool of 86 Blur, but it looks like they pulled it off really well. So, curious to see how that works. And for the package, we got the stupid openless window. Windowless opening. Sorry, I'm kind of tired. Then here we have the side, standard Legacy Evolution artwork, Paraman Robot mode, and vehicle mode. Transformers in 13 steps. Here's on the side. And then, of course, there we had the QR code. All right, so here's what you get when you scan the QR code. So there's the GIF of Devcon. Pretty standard, but oh well. His alt mode is a Cybertronian aircraft. His function is a bounty hunter. His origin universe is from G1. His signature weapon is a plasma blaster. Fires plasma beams and explosive waves at extremely hot temperatures. Bio. Devcon is a bounty hunter, tasked with hunting down anyone too dangerous for the other Autobots to take on. He has a 7 in strength, a 9 in intelligence, a 6 in speed, and an 8 in firepower. So, pretty decent stats. But yeah, with all that out of the way, let's get him open. And don't worry, I will compare him to Smokescreen. I really do not want to repeat the Blaster incident ever where I didn't compare him with Trax despite them teaming up in an episode. Come on. There we go. Okay. All right, there he is. So, let's get into it. Okay, so here we have Devcon in his speeder mode. And I have to say, for this being a retool, I'm pretty impressed with this guy. First off, this alt mode. Really, my biggest complaint visually is that there appears to be some kind of faux parts going on here. Like, that's visible. And the weird thing is, and I'm sure this is just because it's a carryover from Blur and they just didn't want to change this, but you can see where this part is supposed to flip up, where it was a seat on 86 Blur, and it looks like it's supposed to here, but you can't really access that as far as I can tell. And so you can tell it's based on the same molds, but there's quite a few differences between them, and yeah, I really dig it. Mostly blue, but he does have some red here and there. You can see this is painted. This red is painted over blue plastic. It doesn't look awful from behind. I mean, yeah, I could use some more details. Let's be honest. Most of them the modern day ones could use details on the back. Like, it's premium paint when they even paint the tail lights. You wouldn't really worry about that with the speeder, but you know what I mean, hopefully. You can see he's got these fins here. Doesn't look too bad underneath. You can store the gun on the bottom here. And I feel this works pretty well because it kind of fits in with this part right here on the front. And you can open this up and there's his head in there. I just felt the need to do that for some reason. Anyway, comparisons. Here he is with Smokescreen since the two teamed up in that one episode that this guy was in. So, it's cool to finally have these two together. So I think that pretty much covers the alt mode. I really like it. I think it's effective. So now we can get on to the transformation. So first off, go ahead and remove the gun and the thrusters. Now this transformation, it's very similar to 86 Blur, but there are some things that are different. First, flip that up. And go ahead and fold the arms out to the side. Already I like this better because the Blur, it wasn't awful. It was just a little annoying to get the arms lined up. Just get this out of the way. Go ahead and come here. And the legs were kind of a pain to get tabbed together on Blur also, and that's not as big of an issue here. The only thing is that the knees kind of don't want to fold down sometimes. I'm not really sure why. It's just sometimes it fights a little bit. Go ahead and collapse that. Fold up the heels. Then rotate your camera up. You go ahead and collapse this section right here. And rotate the elbows a little bit. And then this is similar to Kingdom Cyclonus, where you open it up and flip the fists out, which, if you know me, if you've been watching me for a while, I love those kinds of transformations, so. And I'm also pretty impressed with how there isn't really a clearance issue. And when you're done, there you have Devcon in his robot mode. And I have to say, I feel they really captured Devcon's look from the original cartoon. I really like that head sculpt. From what I can recall, that's pretty accurate. And there's the faux kind of roof section of the speeder, I guess. There's his Autobot symbol. Just some red sprinkled throughout to provide a little bit of contrast. Some nice silver painted arms and elbows. The legs are kind of matte. I feel like they could have maybe used a slightly shinier paint. Again, we got the painted red on here, which looks really nice. And yeah, he does have a backpack, but it's not like he has any major problems standing. And even if he did, you can just attach these on the back, which provides even more support. Then here's his gun. It's simple but effective. I like it. Now for some comparisons, here he is with the 86 Blur. And I didn't really think about how many similarities there were between the two designs until seeing them side by side, mainly on the head. Kind of the intended thing on Blur looks like the what I assume is supposed to be a gun on the top here. This figure definitely has a slightly more bulky physique just up top, just slightly more, I guess. There's not as much kibble on Blur's back itself, but he does have these big pontoons on his arms. Looks like the upper legs are about the same and the feet are the same. And then I already mentioned it, but this part right here seems to be the same, mostly. Other than that, though, there's quite a few differences. I'm just really impressed by this. In comparison, once again, here he is with Smokescreen. So there's a comparison there. Now for his articulation, head is on a ball joint. Don't get a ton of upward movement or downward movement, but can look straight, I guess. A little bit of side to side. Can look right and left. And that's still better head articulation than what I feel like we get on a lot of modern Transformers. Shoulders can do a full 360. They can go out to the side, about that far. Yep, elbow rotation. They can bend pretty much exactly 90 degrees. No wrist articulation. I'm a little bummed by that because I was kind of hoping they could do that since he didn't have the pontoons on his arms, but I think due to the design of it rotating, I guess there just wasn't any avoiding it. But you can make it look like a gun or something. That's cool. Then he has waist articulation. Legs can go forward that far and back that far. They can go out to the side. You have thigh rotation, knee bend, which can pretty much also go exactly 90. And then the same foot articulation that we got with Blur. So it's nothing exceptional in the articulation department, but there's not really too much more I could ask for. So I think that pretty much does it for this figure. Because let me think, I covered the alt mode, the transformation, the robot mode, articulation, comparison for both modes. I think that's about it. So I'll go ahead and stick him on the display. All right, so there's Devcon with my 85 through 87 display. It's cool to have one-time characters like him on this display. So overall, do I recommend this figure? Yeah, this guy was a real pleasant surprise. For being a remold of 86 Blur, he's pretty impressive. As I said, the transformation on Blur wasn't bad. It's just comparatively, this one is a lot more fun to transform. I like the alt mode. I like the robot mode. The articulation is pretty good. I think he looks good. And I just bought one of my shelves. Yeah, I really don't have any major complaints with this guy. So if you can get him, I definitely recommend him. Plus, it's not every day you're going to see a Devcon figure. Of course, that's just what I think of the figure. As always, please be sure to let me know what you think of the figure. And if you like this video, please be sure to like, comment, share, subscribe, and God bless.